Hey there, Mike Robbins here. I decided to record a video, which I don't do very often, but it felt important to me because I wanted to connect with you. There's a phrase that I've been hearing quite a bit in recent days and weeks with everything that's going on in our country and our world with the coronavirus. People keep saying this phrase that's resonating with me. We're all in this together. And not only are they right in so many ways, but it resonates with me specifically because I wrote a book called We're All in This Together. It actually doesn't come out until May 5th, but I've spent the last couple years working on this book specifically. And when I was writing this book last summer and spring as I was getting into it, the book is really focused on, the subtitle of the book is Creating a Team Culture of High Performance, Trust, and Belonging. It's really about the last 20 years of my life and my work and my research and my time before that as a college and professional baseball player, my obsession with what are the necessary components that create high performance for teams and for organizations? What do you need in the culture for that strong chemistry? But the secondary reason that I wrote the book, I knew the book would come out in May of 2020. I figured as things were going in the direction they were, the level of divisiveness would continue, would probably escalate, and would be really intense as we were moving into the US presidential election here in the United States. I had no expectation, no thought whatsoever that we might be in the middle of a global pandemic, which is what we find ourselves in right now, which is something that I don't even think I guess I knew what that meant, at least in theory, but had never actually really thought about what that really meant. And here we are. As I'm recording this video, my family and I have just spent the last 3 days being socially isolated in our house. I'm here in my office. The news continues to unfold every day. It seems to get worse and worse and worse about the impact of this, starting in Asia, moving to Europe, now coming here to the United States and all around the world. What this really is going to mean, both in terms of the health and well-being of people, but also the financial impact economically as we see the stock market doing what it's doing, and just the reality is setting in. And while I've been, understandably, like probably you, feeling scared and concerned and upset and what's happening and all the uncertainty and all the doom and gloom, it's also been reiterating for me, not just as I hear people, presidents and presidential candidates and other leaders on TV say we're all in this together, but to really come back to the sense of we're definitely all in this thing together. Now look, clearly, some of us are more impacted by this than others. Some of us have the good fortune and the privilege, like I do, like many of us do, to work from home, to be in a home, to have people we love around us, to be healthy and well. There are people who are sick right now. There are people who are homeless. There are people in certain places in the country and in the world that don't have access to support or healthcare or lots and lots of things. So one of the things many of us can do, even as scary and difficult as this is to stop for a moment and just realize how fortunate many of us are. And in terms of sacrifice, I've been seeing lots of memes and different things on social media where people are saying, like our, grandparents went to war to keep us safe. We're being asked to sit on the couch to keep them safe. So it's important to put it in perspective. That said, though, this is a big deal. This is scary and upsetting and hard and confusing, and we don't even know. I don't know at this moment as I'm recording this. I don't know. We don't know where this is going and what the ultimate impact is going to be in terms of our health and well-being, the health and well-being of the people around us, in terms of our way of life, in terms of all of those things. But at this point, from what I can tell and what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, it does not matter how much money we have. It does not matter what we do for a living. It does not matter our race, our gender, our orientation, our age, our background, who we love, how we pray, any of those things. We're all dealing with the same set of circumstances. Now, again, based on some of those factors, how this impacts us may vary significantly, clearly. But as you think about us all being in this together, there's actually a sense of solace, of peace that I get from that. And I wrote a blog post just a couple days ago where I talked about this and reflected on some of these things. And in it, I talked about 5 specific things that we can do as we deal with this pandemic and the uncertainty. The first thing we can do is listen to the experts. I mean people who really know what they're talking about. I mean medical experts. I mean scientists. I mean leaders who are operating from a research-based, database perspective on what are the right things to do, what are the safest things to do. Now, there's a lot of information coming at us. Some of it's conflicting. We get a lot of information on social media. It's important for us to try to find quality, credible sources of information and make sure that we're paying attention to that. The best information that I've been getting most recently has me convinced that one of the best things we can do to try to flatten the curve and slow the spread of this is to stay home, is to socially isolate, is to not interact and engage with other human beings as much as humanly possible. So the second thing that we can do is take care of ourselves. Take care of ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean self-care. I mean sleeping and eating and drinking water and some of the basics. And I know some of that's impacted, right? Maybe you like to go to the gym and go take yoga classes or spin classes or do different things that are related to your self-care. Hard to do, difficult, almost impossible to do now. We won't be able to do those things soon, if not already. But can we take care of ourselves? What practices do we have to manage our stress, to take care of our own health, our own mental and emotional well-being? I like to write in a journal. I like to meditate. I like to go for walks and hikes, which I'm still doing. I'm here in my office. I have a rebounder that I jump on. I have a yoga mat that I could probably use more than I do. There are different things that I know that are good for my own health, my own well-being. What can you do? What do you do to take care of yourself? Right? Another thing that's really important for us to do is to check in with the people around us. Now, obviously, if we're home with our families, which is both beautiful but also can be challenging, clearly, depending on the age of our children or the nature and health and well-being of our spouse or other people around us or the space that we live in, but can we check in with the people around us, like how are they really doing? And the people that we work with. If you're fortunate enough to be working from home and we're connecting by Skype or by Zoom or on email or on Slack or by text or all different forms of electronic communication or on the telephone, are we really checking in to find out how people are actually doing? Like what's really going on? How are they feeling? There's a lot of emotional instability right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what's coming next, right? We don't know how this is all going to play out, and it's impacting different people in different ways. And it's kind of an emotional roller coaster, I know, for me and most of the people that I'm engaging with, working with. So can we really check in with each other? The fourth thing that we can do is be flexible and creative. Just me standing here in my office in this corner recording this video, I've been trying. I don't like making videos, to be perfectly honest. Like I love communicating, I love speaking, I love engaging with people. I like doing my podcast, no video for that. I like speaking in front of groups. Videos, I get self-conscious. Seeing myself, I'm just recording this video, I have to stare back at anyway, it's a whole thing for me, but like I want to reach you. I want to share my thoughts, my ideas, my passion, my love, my care, my concern, my compassion. And this is one way to do it. And this corner in my office where we put up some lights and I'm standing in front of the computer here and recording this, like I'm going to be trying to deliver programs virtually for some of our clients from here because you know what? There's no meetings in person for the next 6 to 8 weeks as far as I can tell, maybe more. And in order to get creative and try to adapt to what's going on, this is what I'm choosing to do. What does that look like in your life? How can you get creative with your work, with how you engage with people, with what you do with your daily routine? Can you be adaptive? Can you be agile? Try something. If it doesn't work, try something else. And then the final thing that's really important for us to remember, and this is challenging right now, but it's that great saying, this too shall pass. I don't know when, I don't know how long, I don't know what's in store, I don't think any of us do. But at some point, whether it's in a few weeks, a few months, even years from now, this will be a memory. This will be, oh, remember in 2020 when that happened? Hopefully we'll be fortunate enough to be healthy and well. And so many people around us that we know and love will. There are going to be some people, unfortunately, who won't. And not to diminish that or minimize that in any way, because that's significant, that's serious, but that's true all the time. I had a mentor of mine say this thing to me many years ago that I never forgot. I often quote this. Maybe you've heard me say this before. He said to me, Mike, you're living your life as though you're trying to survive it. I said, yeah. So he said, you have to remember something really important. I said, what's that? He said, nobody ever has. So look, what's going to happen in the next few days, few weeks, few months? I don't know. But here's what I do know for sure. We will get through this individually, collectively. We will get to the other side of it. The question is, what are we going to learn in the process? How are we going to grow in the process? What opportunity it lies right here that can come from this? Does it mean we like it? No. Does it mean it's easy? No. Does that mean it's fun and we wanted it this way? Not at all. But we have an opportunity here to grow and develop ourselves and the people around us in the midst of this challenge. You know, there's a great saying, and I'll probably say this over and over again in the coming days and weeks. Circumstances don't define us, they reveal us. So what is this intense, challenging, difficult circumstance revealing about you, about your team, about the people around you? Look, I appreciate you watching this video. One of the things I'm going to be doing is making more videos like this. I'm going to be going on Instagram and Facebook and even LinkedIn and trying to do live sessions where we can engage in real time. I'm going to be doing more podcasts. There's a few links below in the video here that you can check out, or if you're watching this on social media, maybe just one link in the comments that you can click on. You can come to our site, connect with me in those various ways on social media, on the podcast. The podcast is called We're All in This Together. I really want to be able to express all the things that are in my head and in my heart with you in a way that can potentially be meaningful and helpful for you, for your team, for the people around you. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and let's all remember, we're all in this together.